Hey guys, so I had so much good results with the Marvel Mystery Oil. I'm gonna be putting it into the CRV for the last 800 kilometers or so before I change the oil. And the reason why the oil is so dirty already is because it's been 4,200 kilometers already. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing 5,000 kilometer oil change intervals. So just wanted to do the check first with you guys. That's where it is. Okay, so that's a good level. All right, so here is the level of the Marvel Mystery Oil at about, let's say 21 ounces, right? So I'm gonna put about 2.5 ounces in the crankcase. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing this is because in the Civic, it changed the way the engine was running for the last 1,000 kilometers before I changed its oil so much that I want to try it in the CRV and see if it makes a difference. So that's gonna be about, so it's 21, now it's at 18. Let's double check. So yeah, it's about 20, so yeah, I put in about 3 ounces there. So I'm gonna try 3 ounces and see how it affects the engine's performance and just overall smoothness, because for sure it cleaned the oil. I mean, sorry, they cleaned the, it's a detergent that cleans the engine, and it tends to make it smoother too. Very surprising. So I'm gonna try it and I'll give you guys results shortly. All right, guys. So I'm just driving right now after buying some groceries and $91 worth of gas. And man, everything is getting so expensive. I mean, it was already expensive, fuel anyway. Then it went down, and now it's gone back up again at probably $2.10 to $2.15 per liter. So that's multiply that by, you know, it's 3.78 liters per gallon. Anyways, is well over $7 to $8 per gallon, basically. Probably like 8 something per gallon if you do the math on the Canadian exchange rate. But anyways, uh, mainly I just wanted to do a quick video because I have my new mic and basically recording in the rain. So you guys tell me how the sound is like. Hopefully this is going to be a good way I can do in car recording. Better than mounting the phone and the camera onto a certain area. Basically, the vibration from the car actually causes the mic to pick all that up, that vibration from the engine and the road and everything, right? And it actually causes a lot of like just um, gray, white noise, gray noise, or whatever. So, um, so with the Marvel Mystery Oil in the crankcase now, there's about 3 ounces of Marvel Mystery Oil. It's if the engine is smoother, I don't know. It's just something about Marvel Mystery Oil that's able to like make the engine smoother, and the response is just different. Maybe it's placebo, but I really don't think so, because I put that in the Civic originally prior to my oil change, and it it made the engine smoother. Why I know that is because when I changed the oil, put in the new oil, uh, the seats were vibrating a little bit, like shaking a little bit, right? Right now, it seems it's done it for this car too. The steering wheel is just super, like you don't barely even feel it at idle, right? And putting my hand on the seat, it's not shaking or anything. So it is quite. It makes it quite smooth. I don't know what exactly happens, but There is some speculation that because that oil is thin and uh, tends to be able to seep into areas that can basically increase the lubricity, right, into certain areas that oil may not be getting into normally, and helps basically clean that area, right? So it's a very good detergent, and seems to be quite interesting the way it actually affects the engine. And I'm actually adding a lower amount of Marvel Mystery Oil, um, rather than what it's called for, right? Like in the instructions, it recommends up to 20% of the crankcase capacity. 20%, that's quite a bit, right? Um, I'll take a look again, but I'm pretty sure this calls for 20%, which is a lot. 20% of 3.5 liters will be about 700 milliliters, right? 700 ml. That's just shy of a quart by 200 ml, right? You know. So, anyways, that's quite a bit, and I just wanted to share the Marvel Mystery Oil with you guys because I truly think that it's able to clean the engine. That includes the bearings and the turbo bearings and basically everywhere that the oil goes. If you put Marvel Mystery Oil into your crankcase, right? And I wouldn't recommend running it all the time, but I run it about 800 kilometers before I do my oil change, or like let's say 1,000, right? Because that's what I did for the Civic. It was about 1,000 kilometers prior to doing the oil change. So that's how long I run it for. And as you can see in my last video, you can see the amount of um, uh, change in color of the oil. When I added it after 1,000 kilometers, it certainly got a lot darker, right? So that's the idea anyway. And I may do a dab test on this oil too, and then that way we can do a comparison as well. But this so right now, anyways, I have Pennzoil Ultra Platinum in this CRV, and it's Pennzoil Platinum always has right from when I change oil to that, it seems to run very well on it, right? So that's the point there. And when I change the oil, I am sure I got one of the Japanese oil filters, so OEM, made in Japan, Honda oil filter. So I'm going to take that and I will be tearing it apart as well. So that should be a good one. You guys stay tuned for that. And yeah, have you guys used Marvel Mystery Oil before, right, in your crankcase or Seafoam? Let me know what you guys think. But I truly do think that this engine needs to be kept clean as possible, right? Um, fuel in fuel, the fuel side and in the oil side, right? Both. And then eventually I'm gonna have to do induction system cleaning. So basically, I would have to spray Seafoam or whatever, probably maybe the Royal Purple cleaner with PEA, or CRC. There's another one. That's another good one. And I'll put that in and through the induction, air induction. That way it goes on and clean the tops of the intake valves, right? That's the idea. So I have about 36,000 kilometers on right now. So maybe I'll do it at about 40,000 or 50,000 or so. And then if it's an easy thing, I'm going to try to do it a little bit more often. It shouldn't hurt the engine, although if you do that enough, there is a possibility that you might hurt the cat, actually, like the catalytic converter, like the exhaust system, because maybe it'll burn off that stuff and cause the cat and things to get clogged up. That I think that's possible. But anyways, if I do it every 40,000 kilometers, I think it should be fine, right? Not very often anyway, but it should be done because direct injection um, can build up a lot of carbon, right? So probably eventually do that. But anyways, you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.